Hello everybody, I am AngryBird. We have for you today another coverage of the Brawl on Brest one-day tournament, and we've made it to the finals as such. Not quite here, Robert and Sean today. We have the third place playoff or the bronze match. Xenon.Gun versus myself, AngryBird. So let's get straight into the action. Let's have a look at the decks. Up first, myself in blue. On the left hand side, we're playing the 25th Panzergren on Vanguard income. So let's have a look at the deck in front of us, and there will be a couple of slight changes to the deck that was used because we're on a new patch. So the IG-18s in A phase, it's showing us 4, but there were actually 6 available to me. Same as the Pioneers in A phase, showing us 5. There were 6 available in this game, and in B phase showing us 10, whereas there were actually 12 available in this game. I think that's the major changes from the patch. In terms of the deck itself, plenty of recon vehicles in A. We've got what? 6 SDKFZ 250/10s, 5 250/8s, 4 SPW 231s, and 6 SPW 233s. So 21 light recon vehicles at our disposal in A phase, and I think the plan is to try and use them as much as possible to get an early advantage. Infantry wise, we're not too bad. 25th Panzergrens, we have the 18 Ersatztruppen. That was actually 12 in this game. Since the patch, they've upped that to 18, so only 12 Ersatztruppen. We have some Pioneers, the Panzergrens, both with Panzerfaust in A phase and B phase, and then the Panzergrens without the Panzerfaust in C phase. So actually, also interesting to note the Stosstroop in B phase as well. So previously I have taken the Stosstroop in A phase in pretty much all of my decks, but opted to switch to B phase after watching a couple of the pros use them in B phase, or a couple of the higher league pros use them, and actually I find them, I quite like that setup where they're only 20 points in B phase, because A phase you kind of have the Flammenwerfers in the support tab to really use as light infantry to rush to the front and do a kind of land grab. I was previously using the Stosstroop as well, but actually in B phase sometimes you just need some cheap infantry to come in and reinforce positions, and Stosstroop are pretty decent in the forest as well with the MP44s and the Molotov cocktails. So yeah, we're using those in B phase. In terms of anti-tank, we have the 6-pack 3850s, the 5-pack 40s in B phase, and then the pack 43 88s in C phase. We also have the anti-tank planes, the ME410s in B and C phase, so not quite any heavy anti-tank weaponry in A phase, and that could be potentially somewhere we might struggle coming up against Xenon.Gun playing the 26th Guards on balanced income. He has that IS-1 Comrotti in A phase, and that could be a little bit of a struggle for us to penetrate the thick armour on that IS-1. I really don't feel we've got anything that can do that job in A phase, so it'll be interesting how that plays out. In terms of infantry, 26 Guards are well known for having very strong infantry, and Xenon.Gun opting to take the Strafniki in C phase. Pretty much the beefiest infantry that the 26 Guards have available. Xenon.Gun's going to use them in C phase to kind of try and, I suppose it will be potentially close out the game. It may be a case that on balanced income versus Vanguard he has to make up some ground. We will see how that works out. But again, the OB25s, 4 in this deck, however 6 available during the game. Interesting, Xenon.Gun's got 2 cards of M42 guns, 1 card in A and 1 card in B, which could do a decent job at picking up the light vehicles. But outside of that, there's only the T-34Es really in A phase as well. So he could become a little bit overwhelmed with the light recon vehicles. He does have the Yak, I think it's the 9B, I can't quite read that on my screen, I'm pretty sure it's the Yak 9B with the cluster planes. He has 2 of them in A phase, but they're kind of overkill really for what the 25th Panzergrenz will bring out. Their biggest, heaviest tank is the Stug 3G, so those Yak 9Bs are a very expensive solution to get rid of them. I'd rather have the IL-237s because at least they can stick around on the map, whereas the Yak 9Bs, it's kind of drop the clusters and then they have to get out of there. So, and they're a cheaper plane, so I'd have rather swapped out those Yak 9Bs. But I think Xenon.Gun's going to have to rely on the M42 guns to mount a consistent defense, along with the T-34Es in the early game, and ensure that he doesn't get overrun by the light recon vehicles that the 25th Panzergrenz can put out onto the field. Interestingly, he has taken the OT-34 in C phase, and he does have 6 ISU 152s at his disposal. Again, it could be fairly difficult for the 25th Panzergrenz to penetrate. I guess with them coming in later in B and C phase, it will be much easier with the Pack 40s and the Pack 43s at my disposal. It's really the IS-1 Comroti in A phase that's going to be the major problem. But let's see if Xenon.Gun has that out on the field, because at the moment I don't believe he does have that out. We've got an early, oh no, that's a VZ VOD in the southern side, an M42 down here, and a couple of OB25s, a few infantry placed down, T-34E in the central. I'm guessing he's going to just rush forward into this town. It doesn't look like, potentially he could move forwards, but this little ridge here is a fantastic defensive position. You know, you can line up AT guns and just shoot down this road. A great little position there for the left hand side of this map, as well as this ridge here, so very defensible positions. I feel a bit more so than actually the right hand side of this map. So does the left hand side have it easier? Potentially it may well do. I feel like these 2 key ridged areas, as long as the left hand side can hold them, then they're very good defensive positions, really. And it's the right hand side, it could suffer for that reason. But we were looking for the IS-1 Comroti, and I don't see it out on the field just yet. Another M42 gun, VZ VOD, so he's choosing to kind of up-vet that M42 gun, I think. I'd have liked to have seen the VZ VOD a bit closer. I would think that's just in command range. Unfortunately, it's not showing us. Might not. Yes, it is 2-star. But no IS-1 Comroti out on the field at the start, and I feel like that's possibly a mistake, because the 25th Panzergrenz could struggle to penetrate that. I guess maybe he assumes the ME410s are in A phase, which could offer, you know, a penetration chance, but still would be difficult. The IG-18 taking an early shot from the T-34A SPW 231s, moving forwards in the centre along with the Pioneers, and we're taking an early lead with this flag here, although we have lost, I believe, this one here. So a 12-12 at the moment. The OB25 opening up. The IG-18 did die, but the T-34E, was it? No, something shot down. It must have been the OB25 back here. Yes, shot down the SPW 231. Panzergrenz heading into the forest, and they do have the Panzerfaust. So the T-34E could be in somewhat of a trouble. The 231 just making its way away from that T-34E, although we're getting the shooter knockout, so we're pushing it back in again. And a lot of the action in that central area, because Sapari PPSH have come forward, and they should, both of them together, deal with the Flammenwerfs. So I'm expecting those Flammenwerfer units to go down. Looks like maybe one squad will get dealt with. The Pack 3850 opens up on the T-34E. The SPW 231 does get crew panicked, and those Sapari PPSHers pick up the victory against the Flammenwerfer. The T-34E does go down to the Pack 3850, and Xenon.Gun's got to be careful, because he only had, what, 6 of those in A phase. The after Machiki advancing forwards, the Pioneers will start engaging the Gvardia DP. Do get the Satchel charge off. Do manage to pin down the Aftermachiki, but the combined fire of the two with the Guardia DP will hurt them. With that T-34E going down, that gives free reign to the SPW-231 to come in. Although he does have to worry, we do have to worry about all the AT down here, and I think being a little bit careless with that, and now backing off again, once again. The Panzergrens have caught the Guardia DP out in the open. The IG-18, like I said, on this hill line, does have a nice sight on there, so they're going to get pinned down in the open. Ersatztruppen coming in just to fill the void here. We have managed to push 3 Flammenwerfers here into this southern side, and we've picked up the 1410 here, despite 2 flags really being in Xenon.Gun's favour. So we've got 1 down here, and we're pushing Ersatztruppen right up this northern side. Sorry, very southern side. I think I always get that wrong. I think potentially just trying to scout out what's here. But the Guardia will open up on the advancing Ersatztruppen. They won't make it far at all. A hell of a lot of Ersatztruppen coming in to reinforce this central position and potentially look to pick up a flag and overwhelm the troops that are there. Certainly that amount of units will destroy the Sapori PPSH. 2 T-34Es coming in, but like I think I started to say this earlier, but Xenon.Gun has to look after those T-34Es, because really without those he's utterly reliant on the M42 guns to take out the recon vehicles that are going to come in on my side. The Pioneers potentially miss micro here. They should be pushing just straight across to engage with the Panzergrens, but unfortunately here we go, reissued orders, and they should come in now. The Panzergrens do get taken down pretty heavily with them being in open cover. Ersatztruppen coming in to surround the Sapori PPSH. They go down to the SPW-233. We pick up another flag. That's maintaining the 1410. And the T-34Es will present somewhat of a problem. The SPW-233 is backing away, although the PaK-38 up on the ridge does get a sight damage onto one of the T-34Es. And now a shooter knockout. Looks like potentially that was an Ersatztruppen surrender down here. The Flammenwerfers just protecting, staying in that heavy forest as much as they can. 2 Guardias pushing forwards. That area could be under threat. 4 250/8s coming in, and these don't have the anti-tank, just the anti-infantry HE shells. The SPW-233 pushing very aggressively forwards, and is being taken out by the Guardia DP, but we're spawning in Pioneers being very aggressive early on in this game. We do manage to pick up the 15-9 now, picking this flag up here, and Xenon.Gun has to worry. He's only got 15 minutes left, and we're only 5 minutes into the game, so at this rate he won't even make it into phase C, where he gets the biggest income advantage. Ersatztruppen advancing through the forest, and all of those squads will take out the Sapori PPSH. The SPW-231's coming down, and we're making an advance into this town. The SDKFZ 250/10 does get gun jammed by the Guardia DP, the PTR-D anti-tank rifle, but in comes the ME-410A1 bomber, and this should deal a pretty heavy blow to those Guardias. They do move buildings to try to avoid that, but pinned down. And do we react? Don't think we are going to push these SPWs straight forwards. The T-34E, sorry, these are the Pumas. The T-34Es, is it the Puma? No, it's just the SPW-233, but it has the heat shells with 100mm of penetration. The Yak-9 coming in a little bit late after the the ME-410 fighter bomber. The SPW-233 does come into the city, but gets taken out by the Guardia, although the other one does get the HE shell off, pins down that unit. Xenon.Gun bringing in Guardia to defend that area, but potentially maybe too late with the advancing Pioneers coming in. One of the there was only one T-34E came into that position. Look at the Ersatztruppen rushing through the forest, a hell of a lot of them there, and hopefully these Pioneers can unload. Potentially could pick up an easy surrender of the Guardia DP here, being hounded by the SPW-233, and the SDKFZs going to take up positions just in the light forest to protect themselves from the T-34E, but should be able to provide pretty decent support gun fire. The Ersatztruppen and Pioneers both pushing forwards, the T-34E having to come very close does open up onto the both the Ersatz and the Pioneers, along with the Gvardia DP. These units, they need to get into the buildings to avoid this fire, but I think we're just pushing forwards with numbers and being extremely aggressive in the early phase. The Flammenwerfers, we have lost the flag down here, but the Gvardia DP down to 3 men. One of the Flammenwerf squads lost, but still potentially they could do well. The Ersatz managed to get into this forest and attacking the M42 gun. That could be a decent kill for me. The IS-1 Komroti is in the game, but down on this southern side, not a hell of a lot going on here. I mean, there is a lot of potential for Xenon.Gun to pick up flags here. We've got a duel between the ME-109s and the Yak-9s, but we are outnumbered. And are we going to call that off? No, we're continuing. We have managed to pick up the central flag. We're up to a 16-8. Xenon.Gun has 12 minutes left on the clock to pull back, but a very aggressive start from myself. The ME-109, yes, going to go down to the Yak-9s, 2 against 1. We should have tried to call that back earlier, like I said, being very aggressive at the start of this game, but we're holding this city position, and potentially, I mean, we don't really have a huge amount of AT that can contest that T-34E at the moment. I'm surprised it isn't pushing forwards in the face of the Pioneers. Maybe he's worried about this ridge line, but nothing major there at this stage that can combat that. The 2 Stugs coming in, we've brought those in to contest against the T-34E. Panzergrenz, I think they have been pushed off this flag, but only a Sapori PPSH there at the moment, so they should be able to pick that up, and we're trying to reinforce this southern side. Panzergrenz rightly unloading in the face of the IS-1 Komroti, and the second one, do we lose that? Yes, that one is lost. So the Panzergrenz, we need to get them into the building. The T-34E coming round the southern side, and well, we do have the PaK-38s, 2 of them here, so that T-34E potentially is going to be okay there for the moment, but if it pushes out, it's going to be in trouble. Back to a 14-10, and Xenon.Gun has given himself some breathing room. 22 minutes now left on the clock, and we are just about to enter B phase, so Xenon.Gun should get the slight income advantage, although overall will still be behind in terms of the overall economy so far. Look at the charge of the Ersatz just coming across the open ground. No real major tanks or supporting guns. We've managed to pick up a flag all the way back here, back to a 16-8. Halves the timer, 10 minutes left on the clock. Xenon.Gun still needs to pull this back. The PaK-3850 engaging the T-34E, along with the IG-18s as well with those heat shells. One of them goes down, and we're about to enter C phase, so at least there'll be some more tanks now at Xenon.Gun's disposal. And those KV-1s, they need to come in, reinforce the armor engagement, because at the moment we've got a hell of a lot of support weaponry on my side, and the T-34E does go down after pushing out of that light forest. The PaK-3850, along with maybe even the IG-18, will have taken that down. A Stug 3G coming in to reinforce, but the IS-1 Komroti, nothing down here that can take that one out. So rightly so, I think Xenon.Gun targeting this southern side, along with the support from that IS-1 Komroti. Is it going to engage? No, the PaK-3850 engaging with it. It shouldn't take that out, but they are going to trade shots for the moment. Look how far the Ersatz have gotten, and we're even being cheeky, pushing one across the river, attempting to get into the deep city at the back of this map. The IS-1 Komroti actually backing off there, away from the PaK-3850. So Xenon.Gun backing that away, and we've already got 2 PaK-38s up here, PaK-40 coming up as well, and that ridgeline is going to become pretty deadly for that IS-1 Komroti. Not in terms of penetration, but just maybe overwhelming amounts of AT guns, and we're pushing them forwards to try and get them even closer, potentially all the way down here within 1,000 meters. So Xenon.Gun, maybe a little bit of artillery into this area would help him out, but I imagine he's well, he's 15-9 down right now. He needs to get troops onto the front line, and he needs to spend his money in that way. He's got the KV-1Es and the KV-85s coming out. They'll be a lot harder for me to take out. We're going to be relying on the Stug 3Gs really to take them out, along with the anti-tank guns. Flammenwerfers coming into this central area, and actually should maybe enough to take on the Onomachiki and the Sapori PPSH, especially if we can push the Pioneers up into that position. The Panzergren still haven't moved forwards, but we have now brought in a SOS troop into that area, so I imagine I'm targeting that position next. The SDKFs, they're all pushing forwards. Look at this, we're targeting the city. We know there's not a lot there. We can see the front line moving in our direction. I feel like this attack into this northern area is exposed. There's not a massive amount of defences, and look at the aggression coming forwards from myself here. We're really putting the pressure onto Xenon.Gun. We're at a 15-9, he has 8 minutes left, and really he desperately needs to recover as much ground as possible, but we're well ahead of the flag here. He could do it almost bypassing that and just pushing up to the flag maybe, but I can see he's pushing in. Sapariz and Ognomachiki is trying to pick up that position. The Stug 3Gs do get spotted by the M42 gun, but with the number of SDKFZ 258s there, they should actually be able to pretty decently provide fire support against anti-tank weaponry. The M42 goes down to the fire of the 2 Stug 3Gs, and look at the SDKFZ 250/8s just pounding the infantry, trying to push forwards into that heavy forest. At least one Sapper unit fully taken out now. Something surrendered there, didn't quite see what it was. The Ersatztruppen, we're falling them back, and Xenon.Gun is in full attack there. The Yak 9B coming in. Is this a beautiful strike? No, it's a little bit far back. A little bit far back there. It does fall back 2 Stugs and an SDK FZ 258, but he could have taken out all 5 units there if that had been a bit nice, placed a bit nicer. Look how far forward we're rushing these SDKFZ 250/8s. The IS-1 Komroti actually, is that showing its rear armour? It's showing its rear armour right now, but we don't have anything to engage it. This could be a major kill if we can get rid of that IS-1 Komroti. It's actually firing up towards the northern side against those SDKFZ 250/8s. And the Stug and the IG are engaging the Guardia DP. We're falling back the Pak 38s, I think, because of the advance of the Guardia DP, but Xenon.Gun incredibly lucky there to get away with, well, to not have me hitting it with that rear shot. In comes the Stug 3G, the ME410 coming in to attack those Guardia DPs. We've got a SOS troop pushing forwards as well. We're trying to maintain this northern ridgeline because that's going to give me fantastic anti-tank sight down. The M30, the Pak 38 now engaging the IS-1 Komroti. We've got that into a falling back stake. Will we get the kill with it falling back? We've got side shots coming in from the north. So that IS-1 is being engaged from 3 different angles, but I think it is just going to escape. The Yak-9s, again, a little bit too slow to react. Stug now engaging the Guardia DP, and for now, we've kind of beaten back Xenon.Gun's units up here. We've got 4 SOS troop. He's not going to be able to come down the southern side again for some time. And in the north, we're still holding on. We've managed to whittle down quite a few units here, even though we only had Ersatztrupp. The supporting SDKFZ half tracks are really helping us out. slow heat shell coming in from the OB25, transmission damage from the M42, another heat shell coming in, and at least one of those goes down now, but down goes the M42. In reply, the SDKFZ 250/10 still engaging with the OB25. It can lose out here, but we're really just piling pressure on as much as possible. And one Ersatztruppen stuck behind enemy lines. A Stug 3G goes down there, I think, to a KV-1E shot from fairly close range. But the SPW 233 attacking. We're bringing this Stug around in this northern area, and we're going for a very short range engagement. I'd like to see if that pays off. The IS-1 has gone down in this position. It must have been a side shot coming in, potentially from the SPW 233. I would have loved to have caught that. I reckon that may have been a side or rear shot from that SPW, but down it goes. We do get the kill onto the KV-1E. I think the Stug maybe a bit further back got the kill, but we have managed to, wow, look at this southern side. A VZ VOD, the only unit from Xenon.Gun in this area. We've managed to pick up an 18-6 right now. Pure aggression. This feels like it's Gonzo playing, not myself. I've got to say this. And SDKFZ 250/10s just pushing forwards, being very reckless. But at the moment, Xenon.Gun's got less than 2 minutes left on the clock, and it's this recklessness that's continuing to heap the pressure onto him. And as long as we keep him back, then certainly he's going to struggle to get back into this game. There goes the clock, we obviously picked up another flag there that cut the time, and 16 minutes 51 seconds. AngryBird, myself, we get the victory in the 3rd place playoff, and I was very pleased with that game and how that turned out. Xenon.Gun maybe was caught out a little bit by surprise by the utter relentlessness of the attack that we took in there on Brest West, and I think we kind of built on the match that we played against Sean, just that pure aggression in the early game. And I think with Sean, we watched how he managed to kind of pick some key units apart and really managed to stabilize, take out the units, and trade well, which meant that he could in turn in B phase really come back into the game. Xenon.Gun didn't quite manage to deal with the light vehicles, I feel, and especially towards sort of the middle of phase B, with that push into the second city across the bridge with all of those SDKF Zeds just pushing forwards on fast move with the Stug 3s in there as well. And that was really a huge breakthrough the lines. And we saw in that southern side there was just one VZ VOD holding the entire southern area for Xenon.Gun, and yeah, we just managed to pick apart his units and pure aggression, and maybe we caught Xenon.Gun by surprise in this game. Let's have a look at the team stats. So, myself, 1,400 kills, 1,000 losses, and it was perhaps a little bit tighter there than it seemed on first glance. And yeah, I really enjoyed playing that game, and I really enjoyed playing this tournament overall. I think for me, the win against Amber T, a particular highlight. I've never beaten Amber T before, so that win was a pretty nice win for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the match against Sean. He is, you know, one of the top 2 players, so to play against him, that was my first time ever playing Sean. So to play against him and at least, you know, get the 16-8 at one point, although it was quickly overturned, it did feel somewhat like a mini victory in a way. And then Xenon.Gun as well. He is Group 2 in the Steel Division League. I am Group 3, middle of the pack Group 3, so getting the victory against an opponent in the higher division than me. Again, a very nice victory, picking up the 3rd place, and this is really my first medal in any kind of tournament on Steel Division, both Steel Division Normandy and Steel Division 2, so very pleased about that result. Let's have a look at the kills. Nothing really standing out as huge, doing hugely well. Oh, sorry, this is that's Xenon.Gun. Right, let's look at my kills. I think that's right. Let's look at my kills. So the Pack 38 killing 2 T-34Es, and the Pioneers did well, killing off a number of units here. These must have been, I'm not sure where those Pioneers were. IG-18s picking up some big kills, and this is why the nerf has come in. These IG-18s and the OB-25s very strong, very, very strong, so nice. I think the nerf was very fair for that to come in. And SPW-233 picking up a couple of kills. Stug 3J picking up some T-34E and a KV-1E kill. So nice work from that Stug 3J. It is 2-star vet, so I think there must have been a leader unit in that city in the southern side. That's where we got the KV-1E kill. The SDKF said 250/8 with that HE. It's basically an IG-18 on a half track. It's basically an IG-18 on a half track, so they are a little bit weaker in a sense that they can be penetrated quite easily, and one penetrating shot is basically a kill against the half track, so they are kind of a little bit more vulnerable than the IG-18s due to the way the HP system works on the sort of the vehicle versus the static gun, but they're certainly just as powerful in terms of the attacking values and the damage that those SDKF 250/8s can put out. yeah, so not really a major effort. So it was a Stug 3G that got the IS-1 Comroti kill. I feel like that must have been a side shot coming in from that town in the north, striking downwards almost onto that IS-1 Comroti. So yeah, I mean, decent trades, but nothing like... I think we stood out well with the Stug 3Gs versus the tanks. And I feel like if Xenon.Gun maybe could have kept a few more of those tanks around, then, you know, he certainly... I think, for me, the 26 Guards has a lot of equipment that can take out some heavy units. So if there's not many units on the field, the 26 Guards can certainly, you know, do it, and they can trade incredibly well. But against overwhelming numbers, they don't have a massive amount on their side. They don't have a massive amount of T-34Es in the early game. So I think if you can overwhelm them in the early game, maybe that is the key to defeating these 26 Guards. I mean, we saw it occur today. I'm not sure whether Gonzo or Sean or here Robert or the higher league players, maybe they don't agree with me, but certainly it feels like the 26th Guards, they were a bit open against the sort of overwhelming numbers of light vehicles that we were able to put out onto that battlefield today. Let's look at the kills for Xenon.Gun. The IS-1 Comroti does get a Panzergren kill and an SDK of said 258. Not enough to pay off that IS-1 Comroti. The M42 gun, like I said, they certainly can penetrate these half tracks fairly easily, but it's just overwhelming numbers. Xenon.Gun, he only had 6 of these at his disposal, whereas we had, what, I think there was 21 light recon vehicles, so just an overwhelming amount of numbers. The T-34Es didn't even... Oh no, there are some kills here. Yeah, so one T-34E, wow, only a Flammenwerf kill. Another one an Ersatz and an SPW kill. So the T-34Es definitely did not perform today. And potentially, I think that map... I think here Robert said that he doesn't... That map feels a bit unbalanced. And actually... You know, looking at the start of the game, the left-hand side of that map, the side that I was on, it does have those 2 ridge lines in the centre of that map that can fire down onto some key points of the right-hand side. So I do feel like there is a slight imbalance in that map, and I feel like I had the better side of that map. So we do have to take that into account. But I do want to say congratulations, or commiserations to Xenon.Gun. I really enjoyed playing in the tournament, like I've said, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching that game, and hopefully Xenon.Gun enjoyed playing and getting through to the final as well. So this is the result. We do pick up the 3rd place medal as such, the bronze medal. But look forward to the final here, Robert versus Sean, and this is a best of 3 final. So up to now it's just been one game, single game, but this final it will be a best of 3. So we'll have the first game tomorrow and then the second game the day after that. So it's best of 3. Each player has to get at least 2 victories, so we will get at least 2 games, depending on obviously, you know, who gets the victories in those games. Potentially 2, potentially 3 games. So the first final game will be tomorrow. Look forward to that. Hopefully you will join me. If you enjoyed this game, give me the thumbs up. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure you don't miss any of the Brawl on Brest action, and make sure you don't miss the final tomorrow, that's for sure. And thanks very much for joining me. I am streaming on Twitch now, so you know, head over to my Twitch page for the schedule. Also in the description, the link's in there, as well as the link to the Discord. And in my Discord I tend to put up the days, because I can't stream 100% all of the time on the schedule, so I do, you know, let people know if I can't make particular days to stream. Also, check out my Patreon. Thanks very much to my current Patreon supporter. and all of the money from that Patreon will go into improving the content available, improving the quality of the content for you guys, and also hopefully the amount of content as well. Great, that is me done. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this. Join me for the final tomorrow.